Hi there, I'm Hannah, Head of Content at e-Residency, and I'm so happy to today present the next conversation with e-resident Jan Lagast. Jan is a long-time entrepreneur with a varied background in engineering, tech, sales, and marketing. He became an e-resident in 2017, first launching his business ImpactBuilders here in Estonia, and then actually following himself to live in Tallinn in 2020. ImpactBuilders is an advisory firm helping to build thriving businesses from idea to growth. They believe that success isn't just about profits, but also a motivated team, happy clients, and making a positive impact in the world. In the interview, we covered Jan's entrepreneurial activities, his admiration for Estonia's business culture, and also his recent appointment as an e-residency envoy. Please watch and enjoy this sixth video in the series Conversations with e-Residents. There are other videos to watch, so go find them on our YouTube channel, and please like, subscribe, and comment below. Thank you. Hi there, and welcome to Conversations with e-Residents. And today we have Jan Lagast, a Belgian e-resident who actually is living in Tallinn at the moment. Welcome to Conversations with e-Residents, Jan.
Thank you very much for having me.
It's
Anna.
really great that you're here. So let's get straight into the questions. The first thing that I would love to hear, and I think the audience would love to hear, is about your entrepreneurial background, how you have become the founder and entrepreneur that you are today.
Yeah, actually, this is a story that goes a long way back in history. I was born an entrepreneur, I think. I mean, I always have been combining technology and sales. And even as a kid, I made software programs. Then they didn't call it apps. It was more software programs to calculate concrete constructions when I was 16, and the constructions are still standing. So I think it was the right thing to do. But at the same time, I was also selling and organizing things with people. So this is like all my life. It has been like that. When I was studying for engineering, I also was organizing the parties and things like that. So my first, let's say, 25 years was combining technology and industrial marketing, and I run my own agency in Belgium, specialized in industrial marketing for tech companies. And then it went to the point where we are today. We're a venture builder, means we build companies for our own funds, but also for other organizations. And one of the topics we specifically do for private equity firms and VCs is to revive their companies. And what is happening most, or what is going wrong most of the times, it's they lack the sales part. And so my life is about tech and sales and entrepreneurship.
Well, you said that you were born an entrepreneur. It's no surprise that you've come to Estonia, I think, because I truly believe that Estonians have entrepreneurship in their DNA as well. So it's no surprise that you've become an e-resident to me.
At least it feels like I'm home, so that's no problem at all. I feel really great here, so that's cool, yeah.
So you mentioned this concept of venture building, and I wonder if we could go into a little bit more detail on this topic and how this can make a positive impact in business and more broadly.
Yeah. Well, venture building it's actually a venture builder is a combination of a VC and an accelerator. But in a venture builder, you build your own ventures from the idea all the way to the point that you can let it go. Yeah, so this is what a venture builder does. If you make impact or not depends on the strategic intent that you put into your ventures. So if I build ventures and the main idea is to make as much money as I can, then I probably will not make a lot of impact. But what we want to do is we want to create ventures in which we want to motivate the people, the collaborators, the staff, and even the partners to add value to clients. And when you do that, it's only a little stretch to also adding a little positive impact to society. And that's what we do. And we see that it's much easier to make a company thriving and making a lot of money when you're not chasing the money. And this is a click for a lot of financial people that but we should go for finance. Yeah, you will make a lot of money if you don't go for finance. If you go for a motivated team that adds value to clients, then the growth comes naturally.
And so it's no wonder that you call yourselves impact enthusiasts then, right?
Well, we call ourselves ImpactBuilders, first of all.
Okay.
But we are having a lot of people that support us and that say, wow, this is a great project. I want to be part of your project without really working for us. And that's the impact enthusiasts. And we are expanding that network, and there is people from all over Europe that say like, yo, this is a great project, can I support it? Yeah, of course, feel free to then say, this is a great project.
Yes.
And because they are part of that, they get all the information, we invite them to think tanks, and it's great actually to feel that there are so many people who are enthusiastic about impact, which is the role of those impact enthusiasts. And I'm surprised how many, it's like plenty, there's like a couple a week that say, can we become impact enthusiasts? All people with various top positions in Europe, and that's really great that there is like a feeling that we need to have a different DNA in the European business community.
Yes.
And I think this is also something that, I feel the same thing in Estonia. And that's why that's
a really good segue then.
So,
That's a really good segue because you started ImpactBuilders in Belgium, but you've now moved at least part of your operations here into Estonia, and I think originally as an e-resident of Estonia and now as a resident. So I wonder if you could talk a little bit about how e-residency has helped you and ImpactBuilders.
Well, actually, because you said you started ImpactBuilders in Belgium, I started my previous activities in Belgium.
Okay.
And when it was named ImpactBuilders, a couple of months later I was here in Estonia, and I decided to really stay in Estonia.
It was a flash of inspiration, maybe.
It must have been the calling or something like that. But the main thing is that about e-residency, my previous business was about marketing and marketing communications and strategy in tech companies. We did that in Belgium, and of course language is very important on that moment. So I was limited in my scope of work. So the first block of my life is Belgium and the immediate surroundings, which is France and Holland, because that's the same languages. And when you want to discover the rest of the world, and I think you see it in many entrepreneurs, they think they know the other countries, but actually they don't. They just go on holidays, or they might do some business with them, but they're based in their own country for their whole life. And if you really go abroad, like really abroad, like you want to like take everything and go live elsewhere, then all of a sudden you realize it's a different kind of situation that you're falling in. And the e-residency helped me to scratch on the surface, like the cold water, like putting a toe in and seeing what's going on and understanding this strange country. Still at that time for me it was like the other side of Europe.
Yes.
And this helps because you start doing it, you see like, wow, this OU erika.ee and all that stuff is so easy. This is great, maybe I should move. So the first times you come here physically to feel how is the culture and everything, and at a certain moment you say, yeah, okay, I'm moving over.
Okay.
And so e-residency really helped me to feel comfortable to do that.
And has it made Europe feel a bit smaller now?
Sorry, has what?
Has it made Europe feel a bit smaller now? Estonia feels a bit closer to Belgium.
Yeah, actually, the interesting thing is actually that when you live in a country, the whole country structure feels like this big pyramid.
Yes.
And on top there is a president or prime minister, whatever kind of things, and and all of a sudden you move to the side, and it's not that you start to live in that new pyramid there again. You get this kind of lateral feeling, and it gives you a totally different understanding of how a country functions.
Yes.
Because you can look at it from the side rather than being crushed into the daily things that are happening there. So it's wonderful. It's wonderful to see Europe in a different way. Actually, it's more than just making the distance shorter.
Yeah. It's building bridges, isn't it? Across business, across government, across cultures. So yeah. And you've recently agreed to become an e-residency envoy. So this is a new program that one of my team members, Megisa, our community manager, has just launched recently. And we're bringing in a small group of very passionate and successful e-resident entrepreneurs to be our spokespeople. And Jan is one of the first envoys. And we're really excited about this program, and I wonder if you could talk a little bit about it from your perspective as well.
And I'm excited too, so don't worry.
Fantastic.
It's a cool idea.
It's win-win.
Yeah. But actually, I was already promoting e-residency and Estonia, because it's the whole spectrum. It's not just e-residency. I was promoting that for a while already, And I tell to everybody like how easy it is to do business when you have e-residency card or residency or whatever. So the cool thing about this now is that it gets kind of a formal status, that I'm doing this not just because I love to speak about it, because there is some formal backing.
Yes.
And definitely when if it's only about the card, you have to avoid being a sales guy for the card.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just, because I'm passionate about what is good, and also I start to know what is not a good reason to use e-residency
Yes.
or to become e-resident. I can just help people to find the right way, which is very close to helping companies to find the right clients and the right people. It's the same thing. It's like helping, and now people believe me, I feel, or maybe it's me that feels that I should be believed now because I've got this official badge.
Yes.
Or status, and it's great to do it that way. Then you can at least, and people listen to you and say like, oh, he must be right because he's the Envoy now, and that's it's just
I think
cool.
it's just giving like a legitimacy in a way to something that you've already been
credibility
doing.
that I was already doing, and this
Exactly.
is it's really cool actually.
Yeah, so we're really excited because I think the best people to talk about e-residency are the people who've actually gone through the process and built the company, and actually as someone who is a venture builder yourself, it's a very natural partnership, I suppose, to talk about a program that is trying to help people launch their businesses and their entrepreneurial paths. Yeah.
And definitely because it's so fantastically easy in Estonia. See, I'm promoting it again. So this is,
and you're using our
so
messaging
cool.
with the ease.
Yeah, ease, and it's trustworthy. What was the other ones? Yeah, it's like
lots of opportunities.
Yes, fantastic. But I think ease and secure and trust is the most important one for me. Yes, everybody fills it in as they prefer, but this is really the. Yeah, it's so easy to set up a business, to run it, to change things. It's so easy. It's like incredible.
Yeah. I think for me, I've always thought community is a really important value of e-residency, and I think from the very beginning, almost from the beginning that I've worked at e-residency, I've known you, Jan, and I think you've been a very good part of the community. So I wonder if you have any advice for people who are thinking about e-residency, joining the community, starting a business in Estonia, any specific tips or tricks?
Do it for the right reason.
Mm-hmm.
It's not about taxes. I know that Estonia and e-residency say we've got a fantastic tax regime. I don't think you should ever decide a company's future on taxes. This is maybe a good side benefit, but it's not. If you go for the cheapest, it's not even Estonia. Sorry to be honest about that.
True. It's true.
So it's a good regime because the intent is right. Yeah, because it is about allowing you first to grow your business before we start reaping the taxes off. That is why I like the system, but that's not the reason why you come to Estonia. The reason why you need e-residency is if you have a internationally oriented company, not when you're doing only business in Belgium or only in Italy, and you're working only in Belgium and only in Italy. I don't think it's good to have an e-residency card or start a business in Estonia. Then I think there is no use. But if you're like operational on an international level, which all the nomads are, or if you're building a company that from day one tries to be more than a company in your own country, then I think e-residency and creating, in combination with the creation of a limited company, the OU in Estonia, I don't see a better way than that to do it. Because then you're doing it for the right reason, because either you have substance in Estonia or you're internationally oriented, whereas you can use Estonia as this point where you start from. And that's what I would advise them to do, and then there is no discussion. I mean, if you then doubt, then you didn't get the right information.
Well, we do try and put a lot of comparisons with other jurisdictions in our content on our blog. So if you are looking at different jurisdictions like the UK or Delaware, for example, or Ireland, we have a lot of comparisons, and you'll see that definitely in some places it is cheaper to start, sure. But maybe in the long run it won't be as cheap. Maybe the running costs will be cheaper in Estonia. It'll be much easier to do everything digitally, and especially if you travel a lot or if you have global operations, make sure to look at Estonia. So what's next for 2023 for Jan?
Yeah, well, now we're building this international enthusiast group,
Yes.
Impact Enthusiasts, and it's fantastic to feel the support of everybody, like top people in Europe. It's really nice. And then we're actually raising funds to create an international structure with the Brussels hub for services, with the basic headquarters in Estonia. So yeah, and with 3 funds that we're going to raise in the next 2-3 years. So we're having a lot of things to do. But the most important one now is to get the support from people who say, I love what you're doing, so here's my support.
And if people are interested and want to contact to give support and to get involved, how can they do that?
The easiest way is www.impactbuilders.eu.
I'll put this
EU,
in this in the description. Yeah.
And just reach out. That's the easiest way. Other thing that could be interesting, if you're in a private equity firm or a venture capital firm and you have a portfolio company which is stuck, not the stars, you know better than I what to do with them, not the zombies, because you just let them die slowly or fast.
Fail fast.
But in the middle, the ones that are stuck in the middle with a little bit of, like you say, there is potential but we can't get out. That's definitely the service that we offer outside of our own venture building. And so we use the same service for building our own companies as the service for third parties like VCs and private equity to revive their companies, or corporate venturing departments to create their new startups or ventures, in order to not mix that venture building with their own internal large corporation politics. So, but if there is
the objective third party that helps
some
rebuild.
Some investment firms say we are hands-on but fingers off. When you need to stick the fingers in, you just hire us. That's actually the main idea, and then we just do that.
If you need a shock.
And then it's a positive shock, because we do it with very high respect on the people.
Yes.
We try to add value to the clients, and then you see the numbers coming in anyway. So that's that we will try to do. So it's not a bad shock.
Not a bad shock, a positive shock. So I will include links to the Impact Builders website in the description, so that if you are interested in joining the Impact Enthusiasts, or if you have a venture of your own that might be interesting for Jan and his team, please get in touch. Okay, so to end, I have 5 rapid fire questions.
The fire alarm thing now.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay, so the first one, do you prefer using your e-Residency digital ID card or using Smart ID? Or now maybe the Estonian digital ID? Yes.
Now it's the residency card, but it's the card. I'm a card user.
You're a card user.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
And who is your entrepreneurial professional hero?
Yeah, there's a lot of them, of course, but I have to be now also honest that my late grandmother is one of them.
Okay, that's very nice.
She was an entrepreneur she's born in 1908.
Wow.
Yeah, and she became 100 years. And when she was 100 years, she stepped in a hot air balloon by herself. It was not, so she was driving on willpower. And because of this, I mean, one of our funds that we are creating is going to be called Rosa's Legacy.
That's
because
so
her
nice.
name was Rosa.
Oh, that's lovely.
And we want to help female leaders and empower female leadership with this fund.
Oh, that's fantastic.
So, and that's why we call that. So, of course,
what a wonderful legacy for Rosa.
Oh, it's fantastic, yeah.
Oh, wow. Oh, I'm getting all warm and fuzzy.
It's like shivering. Yeah.
I know. I'm not crying. You're crying.
No, I'm almost. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Do you have any content recommendations for the audience? Maybe a podcast, a blog, or a video?
The content recommendations I have is go around and talk to a lot of people.
So network.
And you learn so many things. And the most important thing is, although I'm like kind of talkative, I know that asking questions is the best way to learn.
Yes, there's no stupid questions.
And that's what I would recommend.
And so maybe instead of a content recommendation, do you have any good event recommendations? Like, for example, there's one coming up in
Latitude
Estonia.
59, yeah, of course, because there's a huge network going on there. Yeah, of course, it's a really great opportunity to meet.
Yes.
To meet people in both on the investor side, entrepreneurial side, e-government side. So
and we're going to have a big e-Residency community event as well. Yep. So
looking forward
if you're
to
in
that
Tallinn or if you're around Estonia, try and get a ticket. What is your preferred location and work setup?
The Rolling Stone, yeah, wherever I've laid my head is my home, kind of thing. I like to be in many places and discover new environments. Sometimes I like to be at home, in the garden, whatever, as long as it's silent enough to work and concentrated. And that's actually the third fund that we're going to raise is about noise harassment reduction technology. So it's like a really people go like, either they go like, oh, interesting, or like, huh, what's that for? But this is because sound and noise are going to be a big thing in the future.
Yes.
And so that's number 3 of the funds that we're going to do. Second is for the future of work, just a bit of publicity for me now.
Okay.
But so the sound and the noise harassment and the noise reduction is the topic there. And it's important because if you're like in these environments and everybody starts shouting and talking and being very loud or putting on loud music, I can't concentrate. So wherever I like to be, but I need to have this concentration.
You know, that's one reason I really love living in Estonia. It's very quiet here. Whenever I go to like a big city like London, I have a fantastic time and seeing friends and family and everything.
Days.
Oh my God, the trains are so loud, and I come back to Estonia and I'm like, oh, peace and quiet.
Definitely when you can go out in this wonderful nature, it's so beautiful here.
Exactly.
Okay. So we're really promoting Estonia.
Yeah, and actually that's the final question. How would you describe your connection to Estonia?
I feel at home.
Yeah?
Yeah, really feel at home with the people, with the country, with the nature, with everything. So I'm an Estonian resident, but I also am a little real estate owner now already. So yeah, it's I feel good here and I feel at home, and I think this is wonderful. And actually I did introduce a delegation of Flanders business people on Monday, and a couple of them, I explained this like about Estonia, and a couple of them later on the bar, they said like, I understand you.
Yes.
Even in 2 days, and they were only in Tallinn city, they said, yeah, it feels great here. So
it feels young and vibrant and fresh, and
absolutely.
if you can stand the cold winters,
and
the summers are the absolute best in the world.
Darkish in the winter, but okay. As soon as the snow is there, there's no problem anymore.
No, and then the summers are just glorious. It's just daylight and sunshine, and Well, I think that's a really nice note to end on. And so, thank you, Jan. Is there anything else that you are looking to say or talk about?
It was so nice talking with you that everything that needed to be said was said already.
Oh, I'm very glad.
Very cool to have had this interview, and I hope people that are watching have some inspiration to take the adventure that they want to take. Don't hesitate. Maybe that's the best part that I can advise anyone.
Don't hesitate. Let's leave it on that. So thank you, Jan, very much for joining us today.
Thank you. Bye.